quote from the Colorado Northwestern. I thought I'd give you the overview on the painting that I've done. This corner, I tried to make it seem like the mountains came closer and then went further away down here. So they're farther away, they come closer, and then they recede along this area. I've got to tell you, I really had a lot of fun painting these mountains. I really wanted to from the beginning. I'm not a very good painter, but that doesn't mean it's not fun. I've got a wire I've got to jump over right here. Try to keep my head down so it doesn't cast a shadow over there. Back wheel just went over. Seaming the concrete. I guess if I was really doing this right, I would build a smooth wooden floor. See, there's a big mountain there. Up here at the other end, which is in the dark, I haven't really done that much. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring the mountains up. That's supposed to be like that. I'd like to bring this up and do kind of the same thing that I did at the other end. I like the way that looks. Only this would be different. This wouldn't be the same. So that's how it all turned out in the end. You saw me work on this panel and this panel. It's very rough, but I think it does the job quite nicely. And I can say I did it. That's the main thing. I don't know if you noticed my little, oh, you can't see it. Here, let me get the camera off this contraption. I'll show you the contraption too. I sort of built a boot hill over here. So this is my camera dolly. It's braced at the bottom, braced in the middle, braced over here, and it's quite rigid. Down below, I've got a 2x12 with a 2x3 screwed onto it on the side. The wheels are 5 inches and they're all rigid. There are no swivel casters. I found the biggest trick is to weight it down. And this is my prime weight, a piece of rail. Very heavy rail. Good for pounding on and good for weighting down camera dollies so that it runs very smoothly. That's a crack in the concrete that I was unsuccessful making smooth. If I pull it back and just go one wheel at a time. The rear wheels are offset. I thought that was a good idea. I don't know, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but the thing that it causes is when you go over a straight crack and don't do anything about it, it sort of wobbles. However, if I tip it just slightly, it goes over quite smoothly. And with both hands on it, I can do that. I have various attachments for mounting it in different places. Sometimes you want the camera low, like you might want it low right here. Get that shot. And other times you need it high to get this shot. I guess if I was doing this again, knowing that I was going to have a camera dolly, I might lower some of this along the side. Some of these little hills are quite high. They look excellent from down here, but the camera dolly has to be very high to see it. Camera needs to be up here, and that's pretty high in the air. That's a good 5 feet off the ground. That's a good question. How high is that platform right there? According to my trusty tape measure, it's 49.5 inches to the middle of the lens. Today we're installing ground throws. If you don't know what one is, I'll demonstrate this one over here, which is already installed. May have to zoom in a little bit to be able to see it. I'll do it with a screwdriver. The lever comes up and over, and it moves the turnout or the point or whatever you want to call it from one side to the other. So what I've done up to now is I glued a spacer in. This needs to be up level with the track to work right. I also, in this case, had to drill out this hole. So it would fit. I happen to be lucky enough to have a micrometer, and I measured the pin over here on the these are pico N-scale turnouts. I measured the pin and it came out right there, which is just under a 1/16 of an inch, or about 50 thousandths. So since it's just under 1/16, a 1/16 inch drill bit is perfect to drill them out. And they're pretty resilient. I had no problems drilling them out. Once drilled out, they fit nicely. They're not tight, but they are just right. So after lining this up and installing it over the pin, and you have to be sure that you have the turnout, the ground throw in the correct position. Now that's extended and that's retracted, and the switch, the turnout, is retracted. In the case of this one, I glued the spacer on the bottom first. Now it has two pins, and you have to decide which one of those two you need. In this case, we're going to clip off the first, most furthest outboard one. And we'll probably have to clip the end because it will be dragging on the ground. So just clip a little of that off. If it's not enough, we can always clip off a little bit more. Seems to work well. So although they are a bit fiddly, certainly can be done. A little black paint or something on the brass screw head and it'll sort of disappear into the scenery. A little weathering on it.